story. For several months, News 3 has been investigating complaints about slow response times for emergencies.
WSAV's Sarah Smith spoke to a former paramedic with a Chatham Emergency Services. Sarah is joining us now with the details about their experience working here.
Well, that former paramedic wanted to remain anonymous to protect themselves from repercussions, but they say staffing shortages across the board is the main reason for those slow response times. Ultimately, burnout is what caused them to quit after almost a decade at CES.
We don't do it for the glam or for the money. We do it because there's a passion inside of us to help people who can't help themselves.
A former paramedic says they quit working for Chatham Emergency Services in late 2023 because of the conditions that they were facing on a daily basis. This after working there for over a decade.
I don't miss the place, I miss the people, and I think that's what's so disheartening about all this stuff is the people.
They say the conditions just got too bad and their staff was being stretched too thin.
We are operating with a skeleton crew, running from Bloomingdale to Tybee, back to Pooler, then to Georgetown, without a break to eat, without a break to use the restroom, without anything. The only time we can stop is when we're at the hospital or when we need fuel. Those are the only times that you ever get a break.
15% of E911 calls were left unanswered last year, according to Deputy Director Russ Palmer. When it comes to response, the former paramedic says placing the blame on emergency services or the 911 center isn't helpful.
It's the finger pointing game of who's in trouble and whose problem is it? Well, it's not mine. Well, the 911 center says, well, it's not ours. Well, then whose is it? It's a compilation of everyone, unfortunately.
And when it comes to CES staffing, they say retention is the problem.
You can recruit as many people as you want, but you have to treat them good and treat them well for them to stay.
They say many employees are scared to speak out about their experience.
If they don't get fired, the senior staff will just treat them like scum of the earth and just make their work life a living hell.
Work conditions, they say, men and women in uniform do not deserve. It's an issue that they say could be improved if staffing levels grew so that CES could meet the call volume.
The EMTs and the paramedics that are on the streets of Chatham County right now are some of the most top-notch paramedics and EMTs that I have ever seen. They are working with minimal staffing. They're working with critical call levels. They're working with the minimal staffing with the hospitals.
A spokesperson with Chatham EMS says they have hired about 60 EMTs and paramedics since September and only released about 6, also saying they're working on retention and adding ambulances. We have reached out to E911 Center with a series of questions relating to response times. We're waiting to hear back from them, but stay with WSAV for continuing coverage on this issue. Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side.